Hello, students and everyone watching or listening. I want to talk about something that we have discussed in class a little bit, and I want to use this opportunity to foster a little bit more discussion because these last 3 or 4 weeks for the Walt Disney Company has been a very, very fluid last month, and with news coming out on a daily, sometimes hourly basis. And so the way that I want to approach this is looking at it from the corporate perspective and how the corporation engages with consumers and also engages with people inside the corporation, so the cast members. And so we'll start with the very, very unfortunate situation with the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and the Walt Disney Company joins many other companies and was amongst the first wave to do so in halting consumer products, movie releases, and other things like that inside Russia. And so from that, they received a lot of positive press from that. And so you start off on this positive aspect, and then next we have the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser that opened at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and this is the very high end, very high price point of stay experience that is offered at the Walt Disney Resort. And what makes this so interesting is there was more negativity and more backlash for the opening of this property than I had seen in a while. And even that negativity transitioning over onto some of the content providers that were there for doing their previews for media days and everything. And so that was a very interesting time and interesting event to follow up the very positive or popular move by the Walt Disney Company and halting their consumer goods because of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Then next, as the Star Cruiser news and the Star Cruiser's opening, we have the Walt Disney Shareholders Meeting. And in that question and answer session, the CEO, Bob Chapek, and leadership were peppered with many, many questions and very difficult questions. And you sort of, some people got an idea of what shareholder meetings are. And it's not all out of the ordinary for shareholder meeting question and answer sessions to go that way. But it's still very, very interesting in some of the questions that were asked and some of the direction that question and answer session took. And then the biggest news, unfortunately, for the company and for their consumers and cast members is the response of the company, the public response of the company to the political legislature or legislative events that have been occurring in the state of Florida. And with this, I'm referring to the passage of 2 bills through the House and the Senate that could have a very negative impact on cast members and consumers, especially in the LGBTQIA+ communities. And so it was, people were urging the Walt Disney Company to make statements against the bills that were being proposed and that were going through the legislative process. And as part of that urging, people had uncovered the political donations that the Walt Disney Company had made to people, to legislators on both parties and in multiple states. And I would say that it's not really something out of the ordinary for major corporations to make political contributions where their interests are aligned, or where they want to have some type of impact on legislative events. I mean, after all, this is a company that was able to get a lot of concessions from the state of Florida when they opened Walt Disney World, and when they made those deals in the late 60s and early 70s. And so then it came to light, the memo that was sent from leadership, sent from Bob Chapek to the cast members, and that received a lot of backlash because people felt that it fell very, very short of what a company that espouses inclusivity and protection, what they the statement that they should have made. And then this led to things like discussion of walkouts. There actually was a walkout, many walkouts today, March 22nd. And it led to a statement by Marvel coming out very strongly opposed to the legislative events, a statement from Pixar in much the same way, and also news from Pixar that they feared, or people in that company feared, that a lot of the things they wanted to do in their movies that to show more inclusivity were ultimately taken out, or had to be taken out, because of the leadership in the Walt Disney Company. And so then actually a few days ago, there was an announcement or story broke that in the new Lightyear movie that's coming out this summer, which is the kind of backstory of the real Buzz Lightyear, they're adding back a same-sex kissing scene to show more inclusivity. And that was something that was the people at Pixar said was originally having to be taken out, and now they want to put it back in because of what is going on, and part of the discussion and response to the company's response and the leadership of Bob Chapek's response. Just today, and that led to a apology to cast members that went public from Bob Chapek. And just today, a stronger statement from the company, strongly opposing legislative bills that and events that have a detrimental effect on the LGBTQIA plus community, and goes contrary to the note of inclusivity that the company likes to espouse. After all, this is a company that makes money off of Pride merchandise and has Pride events in their parks, and actually added the fifth pillar of inclusivity to their company mission statement earlier in 2021. And then just most recently, a story has come out that people within the parks division were wanting and urging the leadership at the Walt Disney Company to strongly come out against the legislative news out of the state of Florida. And so what we have here is this situation, and it's a continuously evolving situation, but a situation where it seems like the leadership and the employees at the company, they're not on the same page, or they're not seeing eye to eye. And so it'll be very, very interesting to see where what happens from here, and where this goes, and the advancements, or kind of how leadership and the employees can get back into sync, what's going to happen on that front. And this is all on top of a news story from CNBC that actually appeared today, discussing the rift between the Bob Iger and Bob Chapek relationship toward the end of Bob Iger's tenure, that kind of came from the early days of the pandemic when it was kind of brought to light that maybe Bob Iger was going to have more hands-on approach with the company to help the company get through the pandemic. And so this article, which we'll discuss, and there's much more to get into with it, does a very interesting job and good job of kind of pointing out differences between the leadership styles. And so, as I said, it's a very, very interesting time for the company, and something that is worth paying attention to, worth seeing where the company goes in the future. And it's how, when you are a company that espouses inclusivity and protection for your LGBTQIA plus cast members and consumers, then the statements that were made fall well short of that. And how do they recover from that? And how does leadership recover from that? So on multiple fronts, it's very, very interesting to see what's going on with the company right now. And I thank you for listening to this. I hope this fosters more discussion, more questions that we can talk about in the future. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.